Manisar Joshi is there, Professor B.S. Murthy is there, and Professor Malla Reddy is here. Sometime back, exactly on the 30th of January 2020, the first case of COVID came to India, and that was reported at Thrissur, which is where my university is located. And within few days, entire country was locked down because we thought there is a risk of human race getting wiped out. Not only India, every country was threatened in such a way that such a very tiny microbe can annihilate a race. And there are such examples, certain species have disappeared in the world. So human race could have disappeared. But then how we survived, how we are sitting here in this hall, because of eminent scientific people, eminent medical people, research, vaccine, and so many other measures. So we just survived and waiting for the other pandemic, another pandemic, which is likely to come. And there is a cycle, these pandemics will come. And how this pandemic came? Some bats, some pangolins were disturbed in China, Wuhan. And then people in Coimbatore are dying. So we are so much connected, and therefore sustaining in the universe, in the globe, is a interconnected. Like our governor was saying, we cannot live an isolated life. We are intimately connected to the environment, the forest, the animals. And that's why the Indian philosophy always said, Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. And this Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, it is not only the responsibility of each and everyone, it's the responsibility of all the inhabitants of the universe. But unfortunately, we are the only species who are using our brain to develop new innovations. The greatest innovation ever happened as far as human race is concerned is the innovation of fire. And the fire was discovered, the whole thing changed. All other animals are living without heating, without fire. And that's why they take longer hours to eat. And since we know how to cook, we need lesser time for food. And therefore you have more time for other activities, for thinking, for developing, for processing. So this is a reality. And this reality tells us that there are a lot of threatening situations facing us. Number one, the climate change. And one very interesting thing is that all these threatening changes have been created by us only. Because other species are not bothered about anything and they survive. We create problem, and therefore, and since we have got special intelligence, we will have to solve the problems also. The environmental changes, then resources are depleting, water is not there, there is no clean air, we are destroying it. Then the biodiversity loss, every year many species are just disappearing, and all these species are interconnected. So which species make us live, we honestly don't know. There may be some species make us relevant. So if those species disappear, we don't know what will happen. So the pollution, and now we are 811 crore population, the whole universe. Can the globe can take care of this many population? So what are these problems? How do we circumvent? And these problems can could be circumvented only by new knowledge, innovation and research. And this is what we are going to discover. And my co-panelists will be giving you the answers, and finally we will be concluding it. I request Professor Manisha Joshi. Yeah, he will start. Thank you.
And we have listened very thought-provoking talk by Honorable Governor Sir, and which must have ignited our minds, and it should be deeply shaken what we are currently thinking of about Bharat and all these things. So it was really food for us to think upon. And we are talking about research and innovation. So let me start with one video. Can you click on this application of knowledge? So what is going on? Cycle. The speed he is gaining without pedaling. So what he has done, all are pedaling very fast, are trying very hard, and he is not trying at all. Obviously he will cross the bike with the person on automobile. So what is it? The person has some knowledge that if we somehow minimize the pressure from air, like they are going against the pressure, air pressure is there. So if he minimizes somehow the pressure, then he will obviously get the momentum, and he apply that knowledge, and that's why we could see the result. Like without even pedaling, he was like excelling very fastly. So that is a sort of application of knowledge. I have one more example to share with you. Applicability of knowledge. It's a 9-year-old girl, and it's a true story that I'm sharing with you. It's a 9-year-old girl along with her 3-year-old brother. So they were alone in the home. And somehow their front gate kept open. And a bunch of monkeys stormed in her home. She was alone with her brother, stormed in her house, went into the kitchen and started throwing utensils. So it's a very frightening situation even for big persons like us. So now this 9-year-old girl with a 3-year boy along with 3-year-old brother with her, so she did something which is very fantastic, and it was like then came into the newspaper and then everyone appreciated it. It's a very great example of applicability of knowledge. So what do you think that what she has done? So she has an Alexa in her room. So she ordered Alexa in Hindi कि कुत्ते की आवाज निकालो. And then Alexa barked loudly, and with this barking of dogs, the monkeys left the home. So a 9-year-old girl could think in a different manner. Otherwise, what would have been option like run away or shout and ask someone for help? But the applicability of knowledge, like we have an Alexa, which is generally used for listening song, but it can be used in this way also. So she ordered to bark, and then there was she got the result that she was expecting. So a girl who asked, so it's a sort of application, knowledge application. So can we go ahead a little bit? So generally it's a sort of what we generally have. Basically my talk is like what we should do so that this applicability of knowledge will go, and then obviously ultimately research and innovation ecosystem will increase. So we all know this data and information, then we got insight through the experience, then knowledge and wisdom, and then we come some patterns are identified. We all know that data mining is there. We have voluminous data, then we can extract some data from that, and then we can extract pattern. So pattern recognition is also there, machine learning is also there. But basically, our brain also can do this type of pattern recognition. Basically, we all do pattern recognition when we are working in the life. So we tend to retain patterns only. It's more easy for us to work on pattern. So we need to think on terms of patterns, and this is what the knowledge and applicability of this one. So this is again one quote that is also knowledge and wisdom. So knowledge is knowing that tomato is fruit, wisdom is excluding the tomato in a fruit salad. So that's a sort of thing that wisdom should be there. So go ahead. So how these are related to research and innovation? So the question is like knowledge, applicability of knowledge, how it is related with research and innovation, and how we can bring it into the college campuses or university campuses. So the basic idea is like, I will have one more example I would like to share with you, which is, I just recently visited one Raja Ramanna Center for Advanced Technologies in Indore, RRCAT. So this is an advanced center for working in different areas. They have come up with an idea that we have vegetables, and refrigeration of that vegetables is important to take it to the market. So if a vegetable is good in Mumbai or in Delhi, grown in Delhi, and we want to take it to Mumbai so that it can be exported. So that particular refrigeration unit is quite difficult to maintain, and the cost is very high. So therefore they come up with one very nice idea, and then not only idea, they have built it up. The idea is built it up, they have incubated it and then worked on it. They have one particular center for that. So they have come up with Sheet Yantra, Sheet Vahan Yantra. They call it, they made it an acronym like Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Wala Shivaya. So what they did is like, we all know the liquid nitrogen is quite cool. They can control the temperature of that liquid nitrogen, and the nitrogen is a byproduct of oxygen. Like we are having nowadays many oxygen plants. So what is a byproduct of that oxygen plants? It's a nitrogen. So they took that nitrogen, so it's not costly affair. So that nitrogen is, ample nitrogen is available. You might be knowing that in the environment also there is 78% of nitrogen is there. So they took the nitrogen and then liquidate, they have certain one machine is there from where they can control the temperature, and that particular refrigerator or bogie in which you can store all the materials, food, ingredients, everything which is perishable. should be kept in certain temperature as well as in certain humidity. So they can manage all that. And it can go in one go to 1200 kilometers. So 36 hours they are saying that the temperature can be maintained. And with very less amount of cost. So now they have given it to some institution. Even they have given it to Tata also. Tata has also come up with this particular, on truck itself, that particular Shivaya machine will be there. They have given it to one startup also, and they are also coming with some different design. The idea is same, but the design is different. So this type of applicability of knowledge will bring research and innovation, and it is going to help to the society. Ultimately, the RRCAT type of institution where they have incubated the idea. Now, it is not necessary that only students in RRCAT will get that idea. The ideas is not a patent of only students learning in a high-end institution. Even more ideas can come to the students who are learning in a small place, So, how we motivate them, how we handle them, when a student come up with some idea to us, how we treat him, how we motivate or how we help him to mentor it, that is the question, that is the important thing that we should think upon. So, this is one again example, as I was saying, that idea generation is not only the patent of students in a high grade institution. ये चाय वाला है, it's a चाय वाला जिसने अपने चाय वाले दुकान को नाम दिया है. So he knows that there is a craze of chat GPT. At that time there was a craze of chat GPT. So what he did is like chat GPT. He has given the name as Chai GPT. GPT stands for genuine purity. So it's quite okay. And enhanced with AI. What is AI? In his case, it is adrak and elaichi. So it's quite good. Means like a person who might have not learned, he might have not learned, might be illiterate or might be dropped out after 12 or FY, whatever it is. But he has his own tea stall. But he could apply whatever the terminology, means it's not when we listen it, when we see it, we see, yeah, it's okay. But when it has come from the first time in his mind, so that is something very innovative. How we apply whatever is known, how we apply it in a different manner, that is the case. You might be knowing that particular example, like all of a sudden, in North India, they found that a small washing machine, and the sale of that small washing machine has increased a lot all of a sudden. So they say that we are not marketing this small washing machine, and why this small washing machine has got so much demand, and why it is going on in North India so fast. So they say that let us go and study it, why there is a demand, because we are not pouring a lot of marketing inputs into that, still there is a demand. So they went there in Punjab and in upper part of the North India. So they found that this same washing machine which you are supposed to wash the clothes, they are using it for making lassi. So they are making lassi using that washing machine. So the way of using it in an innovative manner, and that's why it is they found that it is much more easier than mixer. So therefore they use washing machine for that purpose. So in this way, can we think and how we can go ahead and how we can work in this because India is surging, like students' aspirations are very high. If we don't mentor it, if we don't motivate them, then it will be problematic. It's an example of a 14-year-old student. It's an example of a 14-year-old student. He's in the 11th standard. He got the prize. What was his project? He used artificial intelligence to work upon endangered language. In Himachal Pradesh, there are certain Dongri languages and is in endangered language. So he prepared some algorithms wherein this language can be preserved. A 14-year student working in AI and working on preservation of language. So they have got exposure. We, like those who are from computer science, they can see that this artificial intelligence, they are just working on them right now because they have got exposure quite late. But these students are having exposure of this particular technology quite from their childhood. So they are able to generate intuitive solution, as Honorable Governor was saying, that this change in technology is very fast. So we have to adapt it very fast. So we sometimes may be slower for adapting, but the young generation is very fast in adapting it. So therefore a 14-year child can prepare a project to using AI. And there are many examples like this one. There are many examples. If you talk to your students, they have variety of ideas, and if you give them chance, they can do miracles. So this is a ecosystem that Honorable Governor was also talking. Third largest number of unicorns in India. The aspirations of students, I am saying, the third largest number of unicorns. You know, the unicorn is a company which has a valuation of $1 billion. So there are, when we took this one, is more than 105 unicorns. It has reduced a little bit, but we are still on the third number. America, China, and third number is Bharat, where we have larger number of unicorns. And the startups, an ecosystem has been developed in Bharat, where we are saying that more than 1,25,000 startups. So students, if you talk to students, means I have visited many places which are not big, like say Tirupati I visited, then Mysore, and then Nagpur, and then Bhopal. Everywhere where I go, we talk to the students also. And I ask to students that, do you know unicorn? So out of 200, they almost 50 or 70 raise their hand that they know unicorn. Then I ask the next question, like out of these, how many of you think that you will have your own unicorn in near future, 15 years, 20 years down the line? After 20 years, you will have your own unicorn. You will surprise that many places I have got more than 5 hands raised. Many places, even in Mangalore I went, there were 7 students who raised their hand and they said that they will have their own unicorn in next 15 years or 20 years. So see the aspirations of the students. Students' aspirations are very high. They have the knowledge, they have the exposure, because we all know that we are all connected with internet. Whatever we are able to give, better knowledge and better way of presentation is also available to them. So their aspirations are very high. What we are going to do that? Because the ecosystem has been developed. The aspiration level is very high. Now we have to reap the benefits. We have to reap the crops. Because now the young minds are ready. They are willing to work. There is a willingness that they want to contribute in the innovation. They have certain ideas. They have identified problems. Like these students to whom I have asked that you will have your own unicorn. Everyone said that they have certain ideas in their mind. What type of company they want to do, and they have their own plans for that one. So it's not like dreaming. It's not a dreaming. So in your classroom, if you ask, like, how many of you want to have your own company? So I'm certain 5% of students generally will say that they want to do this one, because the aspiration levels are very high. So we have to match with the aspiration levels of the student. So what and how we contribute to this process. So this aspiration, like this knowledge application. So we are giving them subject knowledge. We are giving them information, can we ask them, can we motivate them, can we make them think, like how this knowledge can be applicable to certain set of problems. We should, means that's good that we are giving them knowledge of a subject knowledge, domain knowledge, but are we motivating them to solve some problems using that knowledge? This is the idea that we should pitch into in front of the student. Students need that particular mentorship that they are not getting from the internet. They are not going to get this mentorship, they are not going to get this motivation from the internet. They will get only knowledge from the internet. What is lacking? Can we provide that? The lacking is the connect between idea and actual implementation of it, the support system that they need. So I'm happy that many institutions, many universities have started with idea labs. Many universities have incubation centers wherein students can come up with certain ideas, and then there are mentors associated with it, and they can help them these students to work and go ahead. So this particular ecosystem should go ahead. And the question is like how we can channelize the energy of youths in the formal education and out of formal education. If we want Bharat to be number one in research and innovation, we have to focus on young minds, intelligent minds. Those are in our formal education system and those who are out of formal education system. The higher education institution system have to find out some way out, some program, some technique, some way, so that they can collect, so that they can identify such innovative students or youths, those who are there in the society. Can we channelize their energy? Can we channelize their enthusiasm? Can we channelize their creativity to come up with certain solutions to the problems in the society? So that is the question. So I will be happy, means we are here after this program also. So if any institution is doing some program, some sort of initiatives in this one, like as I said, incubation centers are there, idea centers, idea labs are there, wherein students can come and practice, some ideas can be shared. There is boardrooms where they can share the ideas. Such type of initiatives must be taken by the institution, because these young minds are at your perusal, they are at your end. So the institution who will do something different will be able to mobilize these particular ideas, will be able to leverage on these particular ideas. So that's a point that I want to make. UGC is doing some initiative. We are supporting the higher education institution so that this R&D culture and this research innovation culture should be there. The ecosystem should be supported, because the aspirations of the students are high. So we have to support. So as a apex regulator, we are working, we are facilitator. So we are making facilities, we are giving the enabling provisions, we are making enabling provisions for the higher education institution, so that you can take advantage of it, and then you can design your courses, you can design some programs for capturing this young and talented mind. So we have some initiatives. I will not go in details. You all know about that one. Just come previous slide. This one are the R&D cells. We have around 1600 R&D cells, and these R&D cells are really useful, because many higher education institutions does not able to get good speaker of national repute. So what we have done is, like these 1600 R&D cells, we organize monthly lecture for these R&D cells, and nice people or the people who have done something good, innovative, we call them to deliver a lecture. So that type of efforts you can do, R&D cells you can have. Go next. We have this one we have come up with Junior Research Fellowship Science. We have 11,000 slots for that, wherein we are supporting students who want to do PhD. This one is, we have come up with, UGC has come up with this institutional development plan. And institutional development, I will urge every institution to carefully read this institutional development. It's a very meticulously designed document. And inputs from experts from India as well as from abroad is there in this particular document. It's a very good document, institutional development plan. How to develop, so in 5 years, 10 years, how my institution will be developed. So there are 8 different enablers are there. One of the enablers is research enablers. So how we can increase the research component in our institution, that is there. Next. This professor of practice, we have enabled to have professor of practice so that industry person can directly come into your institution. We have enabled this artisan, local artist and artisan to, you can employ them as a professor in your institution. That is also helpful. And this one is a internship and apprenticeship program. Like you can have, what we are saying is like apprenticeship program, even 50% of work the student can do in somewhere. So he's doing some job. So that particular knowledge, 50%, and 50% only he is coming to the university or college. That is also we are providing facility in this integrated apprenticeship embedded program, so that AEDP program is coming up, so in which you have all the flexibility. So I met with one particular person, candidate, delegate here. She was telling me that her school is in remote place and very few students are coming. So can you tap students who are working in the industry and then give them this type of, bring them in this type of apprenticeship program? So that type of innovative approaches that we have to look and then bring them in the mainstream. So that also we have to look, and that will ultimately help in R&D one. So thank you. So you can play this one. This is again an innovative idea. Just show this knowledge powering imagination. So it's again a knowledge, application of knowledge. You click on that knowledge powering.
Good evening, good afternoon, friends. Today's basically the theme of this conference is on Viksit Bharat. And this particular session that we are talking about is on research and innovation, which are the two main pillars for Viksit Bharat. We have been hearing in the first session and in this session also, what are all the great things that one can do in this direction of Viksit Bharat, particularly through research and innovation. What I would like to spend some time is what we have done at IIT Hyderabad. I'm an experimentalist, a metallurgist and material scientist, so I do a lot of experiments in my life. So we did last 5 years a number of experiments at IIT Hyderabad, and I just want to share with you some of those which possibly some of you can implement. many of us call ourselves as autonomous institutions. When autonomy is there, that basically means you have a freedom in your hand. I always say, when freedom is there and freedom is not used, it's no point in having such a freedom. And when my colleagues talk about, can we really do this, sir? I always say this, that when somebody comes to me and says, he has never failed in life, I say, you have never experimented in life. You have never learnt anything in life. So it's better we fail by putting in certain experiments. So first and foremost, research. We felt that IIT Hyderabad should be known for research rather than as an undergraduate institution. While all the older IITs have all started basically to create human resources, we said no. At IIT Hyderabad, 60% of our students are masters and PhD. We only have 40% of our students. If possible, we will even further reduce that to have more and more of research students. We know pretty well it's a double-edged sword. A PhD student pays you 5,000 rupees per semester as tuition fee. You get only 10,000 from him or her. Whereas we pay 40,000 rupees per month, which means about 5 lakhs per year. You get 10,000, you give 5 lakhs. So obviously it's not a good business model. And BTech students are the ones who pay you more. BTech student at IIT also pays about 2 lakhs. So if you reduce that number, so your so-called IRG is going to be less. So you have to find out your own ways. We thought, let us find out ways to do that rather than becoming a UG institution. And we also strongly believe that research has to happen through collaborations. Collaborations are the ones which can bring people together, bring minds together, brilliant minds. And when two brilliant minds come together, there's a lot to learn from each other. And a lot of synergy can come, and a 1 + 1 can significantly be greater than 2. So we started, many of us who are in universities know, within the same department also 2 professors do not work with each other. We started saying that if a professor from one department will work with another professor, I said, I give you 10 lakh rupees. We called it as ID PhD. We gave to a large number of faculty like that. Next year we said, okay, if 2 of you come together and identify one PhD topic, I will give you 1 extra PhD student. We started collecting such topics from faculty. They both have to be from 2 different departments. So every year when we advertise for PhD, 2 months before, we ask our faculty to come up with ideas where they will work together on one topic. And we list that ideas or those project titles. When a student is applying for a PhD, there is a list of departments. He has to choose which department he is applying to or she is applying to. And at the bottom, you have something called ID. The moment you click on ID, all these 50 topics will come. The student will choose 3 or 4 topics of his or her choice. And when we interview, we will have an interdisciplinary committee interviewing, and we take students and we give a 1 supernumerary PhD student to a faculty. You get 1 from your department, 1 extra student you get from this. And to encourage more and more, we said for a ID PhD student, we give 50,000 rupees per year as a contingency grant, which regular PhD student does not get. This has really increased our collaboration to an extent that at IIT Hyderabad, 300 faculty with an average age of 38, almost all the 300 have joined PhD students now. And this is something which has really helped us. And to get connected with other institutions and industries particularly, we said, if you spend 1 month in an industry, I consider it as on duty. And also, went 1 step further. Every year now, we give 50,000 rupees to every faculty member. 300 faculty members, mind it friends. 1.5 crores I spent. And we said this is collaborative travel grant. Just go anywhere and make friends. Come back, and possibly after a year or so, you will have a collaborative project with him or her. or invite somebody to the institute with this money and have collaborations. And this we started seeing coming up with some results that this year, 2023-24, our R&D has grown to a level of 250 crores in 1 year. We never have got that much of funding. All these are collaborative projects to a large extent. And we start, let us go one step further. Even think of collaborative academic programs. Radiologist sitting here. We have a master's program with Basavatarakam Cancer Hospital, the oldest cancer hospital in Hyderabad. We call it as Masters in Medical Physics, where the student spends 1 full year in that cancer hospital, comes out as a radiation expert. These are all engineers. And whatever little anatomy that they need to learn, the doctors teach. We have one more program where with LV Prasad Eye Hospital, we call it as MTech in Ophthalmic Engineering, where the students are all engineers mostly. But out of the 24 credits of theory that an MTech student has to go through, 12 credits are taught by the doctors of LV Prasad. They teach the anatomy and physiology of the eye. We teach optics and lasers. At the end of 1 year, the student does a joint project with LV Prasad doctors. At the end of the 2 years, the student is a laser expert for an eye care industry. We always have seen that the medical field and the engineering field always used to be two disjoint sets. We thought it's time. If India has to become Vikasit Bharat, we have to start working together. And we thought this way we can work together. One more program we started. We call it as Medical Device Innovation. In IIT Hyderabad, we don't call IIT Hyderabad as Indian Institute of Technology Hyderabad. We say inventing and innovating in technology for humanity. This is what is our philosophy. You go to IITH website, you will see this very prominently. And we say inventions are very important, innovations are very important. So this particular program is called Medical Device Innovation, where the student spends 4 months in a hospital, talks to the patients, talks to the doctors. At the end of 4 months, picks up a problem. And at the end of 2 years, the student is ready with a medical device prototype. No thesis need to be written. Just a half a page abstract is what you have to write. Your thesis is your product. And we have seen every year, we are now taking about 20-25 students, you come up with some prototypes. And we are seeing this creating a lot of what I would call it as interest among students. Somebody in the morning was telling, when students do things with their own hands, there is a joy. And the joy leads to products. We even now have a department of entrepreneurship. We thought just bringing a product is not sufficient. The student should also understand how to sell it. So we have a department of entrepreneurship where we have an MTech program called MTech in Techno Entrepreneurship, where the student at the end of the 2 years MTech program comes not only with a prototype but also a business model for it. One engineering faculty, one entrepreneurship faculty co-supervise. And to enhance collaboration, we saw whenever a faculty member, I have seen in older IITs, I will not name, I spent in 2 older IITs my whole life to a large extent. If two faculty guide one PhD student, the faculty gets 0.5 guidance points. And when an assistant professor has to become an associate professor, 1 PhD should be guided. That means 2 joint PhDs or 1 singly guided PhD is a must. We said, this way you are not actually encouraging collaboration. We said, when you jointly supervise, each of you get 1 point each. We said, so that way there is more interest among faculty to collaborate. And then we said, let us collaboratively establish facilities. This time, just about a few months back, we got a project sanctioned by DST called Sathi, where 60 crores came from Sathi, but 20 crores came from collaborations. In a consortium model, we raised about 20 crores 15 different institutions gave money. Professor Rao sitting in front of us, he gave about 1 crore from University of Hyderabad. We had even private engineering colleges. CBIT gave 1 crore. BVRIT gave 1 crore. Dr. Reddy's lab gave 1.5 crores. Bharat Biotech gave 1 crore. This is India's first center of excellence on what we call it as in situ microscopy and correlative microscopy. And in fact, we have brought a facility which is called an atom probe. This is first of its kind in this country, where you can see atoms in 3D. There are only 3 pieces of this in the whole world, friends. MIT does not have, Stanford does not have, IIT Hyderabad has it. And what we say is anybody can use it. In fact, you are possibly aware about a year back or 2 years back, PSA, Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India, has set up a portal called iSTEM. Any institute can put their facility on the iSTEM portal for anybody to use. IIT Hyderabad has put 480 equipment on that portal, the largest by any institution in the country. And then we said, all these equipment are minimum costing 25 lakhs to going almost up to 25 crores. And we thought, this is all taxpayers' money. Let everybody use it. And we thought that quite a number of undergraduate students are not seriously interested in research. They want to finish this 4 years BTech, then join a software job or go to US for a MS and settle down there. Where does Vikasit Bharat come if this happens? We need to ensure that our undergraduate students are interested in technology development and research. And we thought, when we have so many facilities, why don't we bring students from other institutions and get them exposed to this? We started a new program where we signed an MOU with 10 different NITs. And I said, these NIT students can finish their 3 years of BTech in their college and come to IIT Hyderabad for 1 full year. And during that, they do coursework, of course, whichever is the number of credits that they are supposed to do in their NIT, they do it here. They get exposed to IIT culture. At the same time, 1 full year they do a project utilizing the facilities that we have. And what is my interest? We don't take a single rupee from these students. We say, you pay the tuition fee to your NIT. You don't pay anything to us. Then what is my interest? I say, if 10% of these students at the end of the 4th year say, I do not want to sit for a placement, I want to be a technologist or a researcher. If some of them move into startups or into research. In fact, last year, 30 students came like that. 20 of them at the end, I had a lunch with all of them just about 3-4 weeks back. And they said, sir, we want to stay back at IIT Hyderabad, do PhD here. This year, we are increasing this number to 100. Every NIT, we are bringing 10 students. We even signed an MOU with Kathmandu University in Nepal. Last year, 10 students came. This year, 20 are coming. So we say that this is the way we should collaborate. And collaborations are the only way forward, is what we strongly believe. Then, in the innovation ecosystem, we also felt that it is important to innovate the whole education system, NEP, we all talked about it. But implementing is very important, friends. Talking is one, implementing is another. First and foremost, we said that education should be student-centric. It should be flexible and give freedom to students. So, what we said is, let's have a system where student can pick up any courses that they want. We have what is called fractal academics at IIT Hyderabad. Most of the institutions have 3 credit courses which are semester-long courses. At IIT Hyderabad, we break the semester into 6 segments. We can even offer a 0.5 credit course. Sir Abdul Kalam came to IIT Hyderabad, offered a 0.5 credit course. A 0.5 credit course is just 6 hours of teaching or 7 hours of teaching. And now, the advantage here is not only students have a flexibility, the students, we want them to take in the first year a number of 1 credit, half a credit courses, taste the courses, taste the subjects, and find out what is your interest. Many a time student joins IIT only because somebody has forced them to join. Okay? And the branch that they take also is to a large extent driven by people and the society. And we say, you now taste, find out what is your interest. And in that interested subject, go deeper. For example, we started a BTech called BTech in Engineering Sciences. No institute in India has this. I can confidently say this. Where 4 years the student can pick up any courses of his or her choice. 130 credits have to be done. You pick up any courses. A few mechanical courses, few electrical courses, few computer science courses. Completely. Okay? This is the way we feel the students have to grow. Let them identify what do they want to do. And also, we felt that most of the time we are too straight-jacketed in teaching. I remember when I was studying metallurgy, all the 4 years excepting first half a year or so, everything is metallurgy, metallurgy, metallurgy. At IIT Hyderabad, we say any branch of engineering a student joins, we say only 60% of the total credits will come from your branch. Remaining 40% should come from outside. So that student has an overall learning. We say a scientist's knowledge or a person's knowledge should be like a Boltzmann's distribution. It should have a peak, but it should never go to zero anywhere. And in this 40%, 10% is liberal arts and creative arts. We ensure that every student goes through courses starting from anthropology to psychology to philosophy to music, dance, painting and so on and so forth. And if a student does not do 10% of these credits, the student does not get the degree from IIT Hyderabad. In fact, we have also said that most of the students who come to IIT, they go through these so-called coaching factories. 2 years at least, they are all in jails. And in places like Andhra, it goes longer than that. And they come and they get a branch like mine, let's say, because they did not do so well in JEE on that particular day. And for the 4 years, the student will keep on cribbing, saying that if I have done my JEE slightly better, I will not be sitting here. And we said, let's not have this chance of cribbing. We said, let us remove this branch change option. Why? Because first year students keep on working hard to get the 9.5 CGPAs to change their branch. Already they have got so much of stress last 2 years. 1 more year of stress. We said, let us remove this stress. But at the same time, how do I ensure flexibility is available? We say any student can do a double major in any branch of their choice. So at the end of 4 years BTech, you go with 2 degrees. One, the branch in which you have joined. Second, another branch in which you feel like doing. And we enabled this. We said, do not really stress yourself and get a 9 CGPA. It is not necessary. But utilize that time to be innovative. So we started something called Build Projects. Bold and unique ideas leading to development is the name we gave. Every year, twice we call for proposals from our students. And if a student's project is chosen, we give 1 lakh rupee. And provide a mentor. Now we have a building ready, which is called TIP, Technology Innovation Park. 1.5 lakh square foot area we created. And we said, this is free space for you. Just be there and do whatever you want to do. And when a student says, sir, my courses are there, what do I do with them? I said, take a semester break. If you are really serious about your innovative project, take a semester break, I give you 6 credits for it. Yes. So this way, we ensure that students start working on their innovative ideas. In fact, last year onwards, we said, if a student feels that at the end of half of the BTech that I have learnt enough, we say you take a diploma and go. I give you 5 years time if you want to come back and complete the remaining 2 years. But if you think you are successful with that, whatever experiment that you have started with, and you don't want to come back, we say we are very happy with you. There are great people who have never got a degree from their college. What matters is skills. We have Steve Jobs as an example, Bill Gates as another example. We thought we should create people like that. And we have seen this helping us. In the last 5 years, we have 200 startups at IIT Hyderabad, which have created 1,500 crores of revenue. 1,500 crores of revenue, friends. And they are creating jobs. More than 1,100 jobs. Our students in second year BTech, third year BTech students come and tell me, sir, yesterday I paid salary to 5 of my employees. These are all sitting in hostels and doing all this. So friends, it's important that we should create environment for such innovations to happen. And when such innovations happen, then students come up with great potential and stand up for converting this country into a Vikasit Bharat, which is what is the dream of all of us. And I'm sure if we can bring in such measures which will enable our students to joyfully do what they want to do, I'm sure it's not too long that India will be Vikasit Bharat. Thank you very much. Sending your students and they will start working with them, and I'm sure in a long way you will be able to write joint projects with those professors possibly, and research can really multiply at your own institution. This is possible. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. First of all, let me thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to conclude this session. So it was such a wonderful session, and so for any country to develop, so research and innovation is very, very important. For example, if you look at any developed country, the amount of effort they put in the research and innovation is very, very high. For example, Switzerland, there are many, many examples. So some of the key aspects that we need to do to really do the research and innovation in a sustainable manner. So there are several key points that we need to strike. So Chairman, Professor Mohanan very quickly introduced the topic and highlighting the importance of the sustainability and life and some of the medical related issues. And then Professor Manish Joshi has shown through very, very simple examples how the knowledge can actually be used for an advantage. Like, for example, the example where we have seen the cycle racing. So you are saving a lot of energy, okay, but at the same time, simply you are using that, knowledge to actually apply it. I mean, that example was really striking. And so he has also highlighted different initiatives of the UGC to basically, help the youngsters for going into the research and innovation. And he talked about few things to convert the knowledge into the innovation. One is creativity. If you have knowledge, you need to have creativity. You need ecosystem. You need also aspiration in people. So these are the key aspects that he highlighted. And Professor B.S. Murthy basically stressed on the research and innovation for achieving the Vikasit Bharat. And he took the example of IIT Hyderabad's initiative. For example, the collaboration is very, very important if you want to basically make a big jump in your progress. Without collective effort, it is not possible, and he has clearly explained how the course curriculum can be actually designed to enable students to learn in a holistic manner. And then also at the same time, they actually have flexibility to pick up whatever courses they want. And so it was really nice. And also he has talked about the Sati program, where large number of instruments are kept together, which give you advantage to do the cutting edge research. And also these are also made free to everybody else. So with this brief conclusion, so I thank the organizers once again for this opportunity. And I also thank all the panel members for, raising the bar and then putting things in a very, very simple manner. Thank you very much.
I just want to add one more point, because he was telling how do we help. See, one thing that we started very recently, many of us have to learn many new things because things have come in recent times like AI or so, which many of us old timers do not know. So we have started a program called OAT, Open to All Teaching. We converted all our classrooms into hybrid classrooms, and we started asking our faculty, are you interested to teach an outsider? Right now, as soon as a faculty says, yes, I want to, we are putting it on our website. Quite a number of programs you see on our website. You put simply OAT at IITH in Google, you will find a number of courses which are open to anybody. We say a student can register, or a faculty can register, a working professional can register, even a 80-year-old man or a woman can register. We strongly believe education should move in a direction where there is a freedom to learn and a joy of learning. So far, if you want to even learn one course, you have to register for a degree. Here we say, no, you don't need to register for a degree, just register for one course. We only charge 5,000 rupees for that. Okay? We say, just learn, and we even tell to my colleagues, do not control the entry, control the exit. As long as your course is tough enough that everybody who joins the course need not have to pass. So that's what is more important, that let anybody join. Okay, if somebody wants to learn thermodynamics for me, welcome, come and join. And if you are good enough, you pass the exam. If you pass, we give a certificate saying that you have done this course from IIT Hyderabad with these many credits and this is the grade you have got. So this way, anybody can learn anything. We thought, let us become a Vishwa Guru and teach the whole world. And so these are all available for all of you. Either your students or you yourself can possibly also register. Thank you. In addition to research, these are also, upskilling is very important nowadays. So these are the opportunities available for you. Thank you.
Before concluding, let us Dr. Soumya will be felicitating Professor B.S. Murthy, sir. And Dr. Geeta will be felicitating Professor Mala Reddy, sir.